Hello there, fellow summoners. Mad Dog HT here, and I'm finally getting around to this last chapter of Variant 7, Chapter 3.2, with the Spider-Man Morales boss. And this was the first path that I took when I pretty much did this day 1, day 2. So it's been almost 2 months since I've gotten around to uploading this, but we got maintenance tonight. I've been going back through some videos and gonna try to get these posted. So this one first has great power, great responsibility, and then strike back and breakthrough. So the great power, great responsibility. So basically, if you do a bunch of dexing, you build up these charges, and if you're a Spider-Man, Spider-Verse champion like Spider-Man Morales here, you can basically ignore the armor and the resistances and whatnot. And so this Spider-Man Morales is a 6-star rank 1. It's literally my best Spider-Man that I have ranked up. I think I have, or the highest ranked Spider-Man. I think I also have just a regular Spider-Man 6-star, but he's also unawakened rank 1. And yeah, I don't have any of the 5 stars ranked up. They just never have been a great champion for attack. And yeah, so you can see I'm building up those evade charges. Once you get to those spider great power charges, and once you get to 100, you can convert those and then basically be fully unblockable. And yeah, I mean, it does make the Spider-Man pretty good. Granted, the node does have breakthrough for this whole path, which really basically means you get a decent combo in and you're going to be wrecking these guys. And strike back, just watch out as you throw specials. Be aware of that. Make sure that you don't throw a special to push them to special 3. And yeah, so I mean, this is Spider-Man. I was trying this out because this great power, great responsibility node was one that is new, and he does okay. I keep triggering my decks way too early on his special 1. And so there we go. We got 2 there. I'm trying to get the dex evades, but just wasn't getting it. I mean, Spider-Man Morales, he does fine. It wasn't anything special, but I think this whole path you can pretty much use whoever you want and do really well. And you can see, so this chapter had so many revives on it. Like, I think almost every path that I did had a revive on it, which is pretty sweet. Next up, we're going to go back in on this Green Goblin with Morales and try to get some more dexes to get the great power, great responsibility stuff going, so I can basically get unblockables and kind of bypass the armor and the resistance that he has from the node. And then again, just with the breakthrough node, you will end up ramping up your damage pretty significantly. Having that Spider-Verse great responsibility up is pretty cool because you're fully unblockable, which is nice. Technically it could mess you up, but if you needed to, I don't know, tap him into the block or something, if he was being stingy with the specials. You can see again, you gotta be careful with the strike back. So on this, you can see that I'm dexing, triggering, getting some evades, and then dexing and triggering that great responsibility. And then you can just kind of go ham and hit into their block, get some hits in. And yeah, it's pretty nice. I wish if my Spider-Man or any of my Spider-Man guys were ranked up more. would have done better, I think. You know, I do have a Stark Spidey, but he's at rank 4. I think he's actually my best Spider-Man, but I've just never taken him to rank 5. I really would like to see him as a 6-star. I don't know if that will ever happen, but you can see like he's hitting pretty hard now. We got breakthrough going, and I think after this one, yeah, you can just kind of hit into his block, break through it because we're fully unblockable. Just keep hitting, and I think I'm gonna throw a special 2. Boom, get some good damage, and yeah, going unblockable again. 10k on that last medium crit. That's pretty sweet for a 6-star. So I think that's all I do with Spider-Man. I was like, okay, that was nice, but I don't think it was. You know, it can make this lane easier, especially if you have a ranked up Spider-Man, Stark Spidey, whatever that you like using. I typically don't like using the Spider-Man characters simply because a lot of times you can't control when they evade, and maybe that's why I just don't have them ranked up, because I hate it when I go to parry or block or do something and then they evade for you, and it's just like so a champ that is really solid for this line is Hype. You know, he's got a lot of hits on his heavy. He can build up those furies, and yeah, you can just get a ton of damage in really quick, and it ramps up pretty fast. You do have to be careful again with throwing those specials with the strike back node up, but yeah, as long as they're under 2 bars, you should be pretty good. You know, if I'm gonna throw a special, it's gonna be when they're at low power, and you can kind of pretty much just keep spamming this cycle, where throw a special, have Rhino throw his, retaliate, boom, throw another special, and you know, the damage is getting amped up little by little, and yeah, he's doing really solid, getting some really good damage in. Boom, 43k on that crit. That was pretty sweet, if I saw that right. And yeah, so we're gonna keep going. Next up, we got Mysterio. We're gonna go in with Hyperion again. Cosmic Ghost Rider would be great because he's gonna be permanently armor broke. Cosmic Ghost Rider was pretty new to me when I was using him on this chapter. But we're going with Hype, and you know, as far as Mysterio goes, the strike back, I feel like it does help you manage this fight a little bit better, because I really don't like it when he throws a special one and he has his reflection on, and basically you have to dance around that, otherwise you're going to take damage. So it really helps to keep pushing this guy to his special 2, and you know, we just kind of wait. You also do get that willpower healing, if you have willpower, from the power drain that you get from his special 2. And yeah, we're just gonna keep pushing him to his special 2 by throwing our specials once he gets pretty close to his special 1, and yeah, that's gonna get us through this fight pretty easily. And those breakthrough armor breaks make this lane pretty sweet. You get some decent damage. Yeah, so now we're just gotta wait this out. And yeah, Hype does well. As long as they're throwing specials, you can just keep throwing specials. We're gonna get drained a little bit, that's fine. I think do I throw a special 3? Probably. Yeah, throw a special 3. Get some damage off. I'm trying to think other solid champs for this. I think somebody with power control like Magic would do really well for this path. I think keep him power locked, stealing the power. Yeah, Cosmic Ghost Rider would do really well because the Damnation or the power lock, if he's unawakened, will help control the power, and you get some big specials off. And man, once you get your combo up, you're doing some pretty sweet damage. And yeah, so I think we're gonna burst this dude down in just a second. Yep, there we go. Mysterio goes down, and we're gonna move on to the next fight, which is Doc Ock. Doc Ock. I'm trying to think. One of these fights, I think on this one, I think I mess up with Hyperion and I die, which is kind of silly because Hyperion should wreck this guy, especially if you just keep hammering. Like, so it is kind of it's not the worst thing that I'm getting like power locked from Doc Ock. But I'm trying to think. Do I die on this fight or is it a different one? Look at those furies, man. I have 16 furies at one point. That was pretty sweet. I don't think there's any way that I'm dying on this, but oh, the one thing that I do need to worry about is Doc Ock. He is stealing power at some points. So, you know, his abilities, he can steal some of your power gain. He can also steal your heal, stuff like that. So do need to be careful about that. But yeah, I'm getting some good fury procs here. 6, 7 furies. Hit him with the special 3. Is this gonna kill him? I think it might. Boom. Yes, it does. So that was a big special 3. I think maybe it's the next fight that I mess up with Hyperion. I pretty much just like, oh, Hyperion's working really, really well. Yeah, I think it's on this Carnage, which is, of all champs, kind of silly because Carnage is an easy fight. And yeah, the whole lane has the same nodes. Great power, great responsibility, which is only taken advantage of if you use a Spider-Verse champion. And then the breakthrough. Oh yeah, I just totally miss a dex, miss a block there. Have very, very little health left. And I think I'm gonna try to throw off a special 3. And try to heal, but I totally fail on that. So yeah, this is definitely an easy fight. Should have been able to finish this off. But yeah, sometimes you mess up, sometimes you die. Yeah, so here I'm trying to get the regen, and nope, wasn't having it. And so I go back in with Surfer, I think. Or do I go back in with Spider-Man? And I'm pretty certain I do finish this off even at low health. So, so the one thing here is, you know, you need to get some dexes off to get that great power, great responsibility. And it doesn't help. I just, you know, every time Carnage throws a special or the defender throws a special, you gain those evade charges, and I think it's when you get around 9 of them, it's pretty much like a guaranteed evade, which as an attacker can be a little annoying. But you can see I haven't got any of those charges yet. And I think it's because the evades causing them to not get built up. I'll have to look at that node really quick again. Yeah, the evades that you have to do are on the special, and you know, with how I normally dex and get out of Carnage's special, I just typically get out of range, so I'm not getting a dex on the special, which is causing me to not build up that great responsibility and then get the great power, which, you know, does help because you can bypass the armor and the resistances and become fully unblockable. But, you know, you also have to kind of be close, and I don't know, I guess just with how I typically get out of range of this guy's special attack, I'm usually too far away. So Yeah, I'm not even certain if I ever get the great power, great responsibility on this one or not. If I push him to special 2, I think I could more easily get a dex from what I normally would do. But again, with the breakthrough, you know, this is a longer fight for a Spider-Man. I would just prefer to use a champ that has a ton of hits. Like, I think, you know, Hyperion does really well because his heavy has so many. I mean, I even think somebody like Howard the Duck would do pretty well because you can get through the breakthrough there. I do get a dex off on that special 2. So I'm building up a couple of those charges. Do I trigger dex again to use them? Do I build up enough? Nah, he's gonna die here. Just from the breakthrough. But yeah, so the lane's not too bad. I did mess up with Hyperion, but yeah, that was the least of my worries. So this was the first attempt on Spider-Man Morales, and I did terrible. Just to be honest, I just did terrible. But we'll show it. You can enjoy me getting smacked around quite a bit. So this has Hard Knock Life and Flux Dispersal, which I think make this fight the most difficult. So first I went in with Silver Surfer thinking that I could just build up a bunch of the buffs and take off his charges and be able to refresh with heavies. And you see, like, I miss getting a dex back, and I miss again getting dex, just dashing back, just couldn't do it. And I get smacked and I just totally get wrecked. So I'm like, oh, that went terrible. So I'm going back in with Cosmic Ghost Rider. You know, as far as the champs on my team that are pretty solid for this, I think is Hype. Cosmic Ghost Rider, you know, with having to dex and trigger that and lose that ability, and this is early on. Like, I hadn't used Cosmic Ghost Rider a lot, so I'm reviewing this for this is like 2 months ago, trying to see how I played this. But you know, with Flux Dispersal and having to get the heavies in while he has those evade charges, it can be really cumbersome if you don't bring somebody with True Strike, because yeah, it can just get really nasty. Preferred method would be to get off all of those evade charges. It looks like that's what I'm trying to do, but instead I just get whacked in the face. So we do throw a special 3 to create some space. But yeah, Cosmic Ghost Rider, he doesn't really have much going for him for this fight. You know, the Hard Knock Life, Disorients, those things can put in some work. So there we get off 2 evades. I mean, once the evades are gone, if you're not having to throw a special to get off some damage, then you know, you should be pretty solid. But you can see I can't counter that evade that he does, and I try to dash back and I get whacked. And so I'm looking at the champs, I'm like, okay, Hulk, he's only a rank 2 5-star, he's not going to do anything. So I'm like, okay, I'll throw a revive. It's going to be several revives into Hype, heal him up, and I should be able to build up some of the cosmic radiation charges and just kind of overpower this guy, especially if I can get rid of his evade charges. So if you get rid of his evade charges, then you don't have to worry about the evade, and as long as you're getting your heavies in periodically, you should be good to go. So there is 2 of them, and so I'm trying to hit into his block to trigger those evades so that you can just kind of dash back after that. I'm not worrying about Flux Dispersal right now. I just want to try to get rid of those evades. So we got 1 left. There we go. So now I'm just like, okay, so I'm going to wait out the Flux Dispersal and then parry heavy and also build up some of those cosmic charges to help with my damage. And here we go. So heavy, and then we just need to evade those specials. I'm not sure why I would have thrown this special 3. I think I would have just preferred to keep it. Oh yeah, it's got strike back, and so this was my first mistake. So I thought there was going to be plenty of power, but with the strike back and the power that you give him from his L3 was enough to push Spider-Man to his L3. Yeah, so that didn't go too well. So I'm just like, what the heck happened? Oh yeah, strike back, dude. And this does have Cosmic Wrath, so you do get the Fury if you bring in a Cosmic Champ. So I throw in another revive, which is not a big deal. I threw in a couple revives here, and I should have been more prepared for this. Especially, I should have probably used somebody else on the lane if I was going to use Hype for the boss to make sure that he's just nice and healthy. But first encounter with Spider-Man Morales, yeah, I got my butt whooped. I learned my lesson. I try to get a heavy in there. Definitely can't land all the hits and get evaded. Luckily, I don't get punished. But don't worry. Do not worry. I am going to get whacked here really soon. So here I'm trying to hit into his block with some light attacks and trying to get off those evade charges because I don't have True Strike. And yeah, so his specials are unblockable, but or at least his special one is set, it's unblockable, but because it is a projectile, you can actually block those spider webs that he throws at you. And I think I didn't realize that until much later on when I was finishing up some of the pass. But dexing his L1 is not the hardest thing. I have that down generally pretty well. I want to get in a heavy, but I just need to get that last evade gone, and he is just not evading, which is kind of annoying. But once it's gone, then you kind of have free reign. You don't have to worry about that. Just work around the hard knock life, the flux dispersal, get some knockdowns, and yeah, reset those charges so you can actually do damage, because with 20 of those charges you do 0 damage. Yeah, so look at that. Look at those big zeros. Got yellow ones and the grayish white ones. 0 0 0 0 0. And this guy will not evade. Use that last evade, and I don't want to use a heavy and then him evade and punish me. So I'm just throwing light attacks in, and he is just not having it. And then of course I get tagged. I'm like, great. And so here I'm trying to heal. We had the 3 cosmic radiation charges. We start to get some heal. There we go. Thank you. Took so long to get that going, and now we can just heavy when we can. We got to be careful about those disorients because the block penetration is quite significant, and the parries can fail, so I need to make sure that they actually land. But look at the furies that I'm getting. I got 8 furies. It's pretty good, but I'm gonna die here. Yeah, right there. So I fail. After I get all of those evade charges off, I just fail. I'm like, ugh, come on. So I go one more time, another revive, another bunch of health potions, which is fine. I have plenty at this point, but just kind of annoying. And this run was quite frustrating. And I didn't really have a super solid run. I'm not sure that I actually even soloed Spider-Man Morales. There were a couple attempts where I went in and I died right away, pretty much, and then I finished him off, which was like, anywhere from like 98-95% health, so almost a solo. But I just had issues with this dude, and there you go. He evades. I get smacked. Wasn't ready for it, and I think I'm gonna try to heal up after I get the 3 cosmic radiation charges there. Now we got all the evades off, and I gotta get an opening. Like, come on, back off so I can heal. And there we go, we get it, but we're at such low health. And yeah, his heal's pretty good, but then get whacked again. And I think at this point I was pretty frustrated, and I'm like, well, I'm just gonna use my other champs, or do I go back? Yeah, so we go in with Hulk. This 32%, let's see what we do. We already lose 35% in the first 3 taps of a block. And we do got to get those evade charges off, so we can get some, we know that we can ensure some clean openings. I'm trying to think. I think I actually do get a decent chunk of health off this guy, but we don't finish him off, that's for sure. But let's see what the rank 2 Hulk can do. Okay, there we go. We get all the way down to 7%, which is not good. Get a little bit of healing from that weakness. We do need to get a heavy in so that we can do some significant damage, because we're building up those flux dispersal charges. And boom. Okay, so we get a stun in. Great. Push him to special 2. Now he's back at 0 flux dispersal. And Hulk at low health, he can do some decent damage, but guess what? This is a rank 2 Hulk, and I'm pretty certain he's just like Sig 20. So yeah, we're not really doing much of anything. That parry hurt. Here we go, push him back to special 2. If I heavy him, that was super close. We get him back down to 0, but man, that was super risky to get him to a special 3 almost. And so we went from 32 to 26. We got 6% health. Not too great, but we're going. We're gonna get, nope, that's it. So we got 7% off with my rank 2, and I'm like, ugh, that was no good. So I have Spider-Man Morales. I'm like, should I heal him, or can I just finish this? I should have put some health potions into him, but I'm like, no, I can finish him off, which I think was pretty dumb. But I was thinking, if I'm gonna have to revive, I'm gonna revive and heal up Hyperion instead of Morales. So, but you know what? We do close this out, which miraculously was pretty decent showing. Granted, it's not a ton of health, but this the Spider-Man was quite annoying with the nodes. If you don't bring somebody that has True Strike, if you bring somebody that has True Strike, then you know you should be pretty good to go. But I'm trying to think who has True Strike that is either cosmic or science. So Heimdall can get True Strike, and he actually would be fairly decent if you could get your special 1 off, and then you can just pretty much go ham. But I don't have a ranked up Heimdall. I do have a 6-star Heimdall. Other champs that would be good, Venom would be excellent actually. But can you only use heroes? I think you can only use heroes in this quest. Is that right? I think so. So that's not going to work. Who else on the cosmic spectrum has True Strike? I don't think there are any. Vision Arcus. I should have brought Vision Arcus. I did bring him on 1 path, but he's only a 6-star rank 1 as well. But he would be good because he can put on that cold snap, which can prevent the evades, and he can get a lot of power quick. And then as far as on the science side, She-Hulk, Quake, that's about it as far as I'm thinking that has True Strike, that can get around True Strike. I mean, She-Hulk has the slow. Spider-Gwen, I didn't think about that. Spider-Gwen, she would work. I don't have her as a 6-star, nor do I have her as a 5-star ranked up. I think she's just ranked 2. But yeah, we're still going on this Spider-Man. Getting close. We started out at like 20% health. He was 25. We just need to make sure we make the most out of any parries that we do. Trying to get the most out of my charges before I parry heavy. Here we go. I do a heavy into a special 1. Not quite enough. 3% to 2%. Evading. I'm like, come on. Let's go. There's the last evade. I'm like, alright, we can finish this dude off in assassin's range. Courage, fully activated for sure. And yeah, we're gonna knock this dude over. So yeah, we'll have some better runs on this dude, but what I used 3 revives on hype and big failures, but we'll have better runs. We will have better runs. And let's look at the completion rewards here. So we get a 2 to 3 gem, we get a bunch of shards, a tier 5 basic, we get that crystal, which is a rank 4 to 5 5-star rank up, which is pretty sweet, and we're gonna go open that up right now. And yeah, as far as like what I was hoping to get, the last variant 6, I did get a mutant, which I ended up using that 4 to 5 on Apocalypse, which was really, really great. And I'm trying to think, I mean, this was 2 months ago, but I think I wanted Science, and I got another mutant. And I still yet have to this day not used that. I'm not sure who I'm going to use it on. But anyways, thanks for watching, fellas, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.